KHOU 11 starts right now with a weather impact alert.
Thank you for waking up with us on what is for many people the middle of a long weekend.
Yes, a Sunday morning, and we appreciate you joining us. We have team coverage on this weather alert impact day as an Arctic blast is impacting millions of people across the country. We are taking a live look right now at another story that we are following. This is at the Whataburger on Westheimer and Chimney Rock. A water main break there is causing a huge issue. Our Trayson Bragg is on the scene right now.
Trayson, you just got there. We've been following this all morning long. We heard city crews have now arrived, but no real improvements yet.
No real improvement so far, Jacob. I mean, crews actually arriving right now as I'm speaking, kind of circling, trying to find the best vantage point. But take a look behind me. I mean, this looks like a natural geyser, but it is not. A water main break here, shooting roughly 40 to 45 feet into the air. I mean, just an amazing sight and something you don't see often. Take a look now at the base of it. You see all those rocks and large pieces of concrete? The force of that water has actually broken through the concrete, obviously, and that's what those big rocks are that you're seeing there is. You also have some sediment and some rocks from underneath the sidewalk being shot into the sky. I want to show you the parking lot now as it makes its way onto the roof as well. You got sediment there on the roof of the Whataburger here, all the way about 20 to 30 feet into the parking lot. That's what it's really where a lot of that sediment is ending up. But I want to show you something else. Obviously, with the freezing temperatures approaching, the big concern is ponding on the roads. And look at all the water here so far. And as you can see, Houston Public Works arriving now, obviously going to start working on this situation. We're going to see if we can get some information from him in a few moments. But as those freezing temperatures roll in, this much water being on the road is obviously going to be a huge concern for anyone living and driving through this area. We're going to continue to see what gets done here, how soon this water main break is controlled and handled, and hopefully that water stops shooting in the air. We're going to report to you as soon as we learn more. But yes, just an unbelievable sight out here for now. I'll send it back to you all.
It honestly looks taller than it did an hour ago when we first saw it, to me.
I mean, this is hard to believe, Trayson. Okay, we're going to keep watching this. We'll check back in with Trayson. But Cheetah, you know, we said this a little while ago. Thank goodness it's not 2 or 3 degrees colder.
Thank goodness. We are still at 34. And I tell you, if we were at 32 or below, that water upon surface would freeze. But you know what? Like Trayson said, the concern is going to be this evening and overnight to tomorrow, because you see that ponding. You know, I'm going to show you how rain is moving out of here. Okay, we probably have about 15, 20 more minutes from Galveston into Chambers County. This is all pushing east, but look at these temperatures drastically dropping. 20 right now in College Station, dropping down to about 22 in Brenham, 30 degrees right now in Conroe. So even though the rain is even from Galveston and Chambers County going to move east, our temperatures are going to be dropping. Big picture here, this is all connected in the northeast region of the country, right through the southeast. So you're going to hear about this on a national view. Now, this is a live look from the Gulf Freeway into downtown. I like that we don't see many cars out. Everybody is heeding the warning this morning, but temperatures close to that freezing point. So still at 33 at IAH, Galveston 36. Where it's not currently raining and the moisture is well east, that's where temperatures are dropping quickly. And that leads me into the extreme cold warning. So the coldest temperatures are going to be tomorrow morning. No moisture, but like that water main break that Trayson just showed you live near the Whataburger off of Chimney Rock, any water, any moisture that is on the ground is going to freeze quickly overnight. Now, throughout the day today, rain is out of here. There is nothing else that we're going to be tracking as far as the moisture goes. Temperatures, I think, through noon are going to be hovering near the freezing point. By the afternoon, if we can get that sunshine to peek through, that's what will help our temperatures climb above the freezing point. But, you know, I'm going to bring in meteorologist Chris Ramirez. This is the thing. We are going, hi, Kim Castro. We are all here today. But guys, just a lot to monitor over the next 24 hours.
Thank you, Cheetah. And over on your top right, you're looking at a live look. I believe this is Dallas.
Oh.
Kim, statewide, I mean, this is a big deal.
It's a huge deal. That's why we have all of us in-house right now. In fact, if I could take the weather computer number 2, I could show you the statewide map. There we go. So because the coldest temperatures are in the Panhandle and North Texas, they're looking at straight up snow. We're on the cusp, like Cheetah showed us, which is why we're dealing either with a cold rain or a sleet freezing rain mixture. So it kind of paints a picture as to where we're seeing the coldest temperatures right now. As we go through the rest of today and into tomorrow, those cold temperatures are going to start sinking in. We are already extremely cold compared to yesterday, down by 20 degrees at Hobby Airport and at Sugar Land. Both of those spots just barely holding on to above that freezing marker. Notice Conroe well below that now, 30 degrees. Tomball also 31 below freezing. So you'll notice 14-degree drop there. Those are the spots that have that freezing rain sleet potential. Now, why we're concerned, like Cheetah mentioned, over the next couple of hours, we're expecting those temperatures to tumble down just 1 or 2 degrees. That's going to make all the difference. Whatever is on the ground, and you saw where Trayson is, that's a lot of moisture on the ground. That has a potential to freeze over the next few hours. Now, models are split on whether or not we stay cloudy or whether we see the return of sunshine. We certainly hope to see the clouds break and see some sun so that the moisture that's left over can start slowly evaporating and not becoming an issue overnight, because that is when we get hit with the coldest temperatures. That is when we're going to see the 20s and even the teens for actual air temperature. So here's a look at future track. Moisture really coming to an end over the next hour. Temperatures hovering at freezing or slightly below. Cloud cover still around through late morning. But we're hoping that by the afternoon, we're going to start to see some holes in that cloud cover. That's a catch-22, because without cloud cover, we see radiational cooling, even more cold air during the overnight hours, which is why you want to stay inside. If you have to step outside at any point, Jacob Bologna, make sure all of your extremities are covered. So that means your hands, making sure you've got a beanie on, you're not leaving your legs exposed, and that's especially true if there is any additional time that you have to be outside for. Say the crews are out there responding, they have to be sure that they are dressed appropriately for this kind of cold.
Yeah, they definitely need to be prepared. Kim, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, of course, we are busy watching the roadways today as well.
That's right. We have team coverage across the area. We're going to start here with KHOU 11 traffic expert Jennifer Reyna. How are we doing? We warn people to stay off of the roads. How's it looking?
We sure do. We do. And I know one problem just popped up at 249 in Zion. And even though you've seen most of the pink shift toward the east, we had a lot of this pink color covering Huntsville over to Giddings. This was earlier this morning. So you can see that the wet pavement from Houston, also those rain showers pushing closer to the coast. So the roads are still wet, and we are looking at 249 Tomball Parkway. I did want to check in with Cheetah, or one of our meteorologists, to see the temps up here at 249 in Zion, because I saw this one car crash and I thought, it was where I saw earlier some pink, and we have been getting reports on ramps off of 99 up in this area, connector ramps that have possible ice on them. So you can see some road debris back here, and it's one vehicle involved. So whether it's due to slick roads, via rain, or via ice, I have not confirmed that, but I know that it's slippery nonetheless. So take your time, ease up on accelerators, and make sure that you are not speeding if you have to be out there on the roadways at all. This is 249 at Decker Prairie, and you can see it just looks wet in this area, but that is going to be your latest look at the Tomball area as you come in. If you're traveling via the airports, I would check in with your particular flight, but the airports are open and operating, and you can see how light traffic is. But here, Katie, at Derry Ashford, I mean, we actually have trucks and cars out there. This is 69 at Elgin, McGowan in the downtown area. If you are headed to the Med Center, possibly to check out a family member, or if something has happened, you will have no trouble getting there. So I don't want to have the fear that you can't go anywhere, but it's just that we are asking, and especially later on tonight, should any of these wet road conditions linger? Well, of course, when the temperatures continue to drop past 32 degrees, we're going to be highly concerned. Over to you.
Well said. About the best outcome we could have had at this point in the day, with most of us above freezing.
Okay, Jen, thank you. Another big story that we are watching right now is in the Galleria area at this water main break. Trayson Bragg is joining us now live. Trayson, how's it looking out there?
Well, I'll tell you, the water still looking the same, but we have seen some movement here. As we mentioned last time you saw me, one city worker has arrived here. You see he's coned off the area, making sure no one gets too close here. He tells me more crews are on their way to address this situation. But like I just said, not much change though. Take a look at this water and look at the force that it's shooting out with right now. I want to show you, those are huge pieces of concrete. You can even see some of the bars in between the concrete that were just broken like nothing pretty much with the force of this water. And I want to tell you, imagine if someone was close to that when this happened, right? So there was obviously a risk of danger, which is why you see the cones out now, officials making sure no one's getting close to this anymore. But take a look at the path of that water. There is sediment, pieces of stone being shot into the sky about 40 or 50 feet into the air. A lot of it's landing either on the ground here in the parking lot or even on the roof of that Whataburger. And some of it landing even about 30 feet into this parking lot. So this is a serious situation. A lot of water obviously flowing and pouring out, flowing into the drain, but it's not all getting into the drain. Take a look at the roadway here. We are seeing lots of water out here, not just dripping on top of our heads right now, but flowing into the street as well. As you've been mentioning all morning long, as the temperatures creep lower and lower, we're going to be keeping our close eyes on these types of ponding areas. Why? Because if they freeze over, this can be a very dangerous situation for people walking in this area, people driving in this area. This is a serious situation, which is why the city is clearly working quickly to address this situation. They are obviously aware of it. They're sending more crews. I did ask when we can expect things to be fixed here. ETA, right now I'm told there is no ETA. He couldn't give me that, but he says more crews are on the way. But just take a look at this situation. We've seen people who work here at the Whataburger making their way in and out. Honestly, people just stopping and taking pictures and video, people driving by taking pictures and video, because I don't know about any of you all, but I've never seen anything like this, quite like this in the city. These buildings behind us, the water's shooting up higher than those townhomes just steps away from us. So, this is just an unbelievable picture, but glad to report the city of Houston is here. They have cones up. They have a crew on the way working to make sure this is as safe as can be for people in this area. We're going to continue to monitor this situation, and we'll let you know more as soon as we know more. For now, I'll send it back to you all.
What a look, Trayson. It's amazing that it looks the same and maybe even worse than an hour ago. And this is a 24-hour Whataburger that would usually be busy with people getting their breakfast. We'll continue to check in throughout the morning. Thank you, Trayson.
Unbelievable. Like Trayson said it, I haven't ever seen anything quite like that. Okay, our team coverage continues this morning, and a reminder that we are showing you conditions from all across the greater Houston area so that you can stay safe at home.
All right, Matt Doherty is live up in Huntsville. Okay, that's further north, of course, than anything we've seen so far this morning. What are we seeing up there, and how cold is it?
Well, we just stepped outside just a short time ago, and I got to tell you, it is a nice, warm 25 degrees right now. You can see some of the icicles on these trees that were left overnight from some of the precipitation that we saw. But even though you see sleet on the ground here, you'll see some of this ponding, and none of this is frozen. I don't know if that's going to change later on, but it's still liquid. But if you walk over here, we'll show you how this parking lot works. A lot of the people who were trying to get out of the hotel that we were in this morning had some problems because they can't even open their car doors because they're frozen solid. That was the same case with us. I'm going to walk you over here to the weather tracker and show you what happened here. Photojournalist Ryan Phillips has asked me not to pull on it too hard, but he wasn't able to open up the driver's side door this morning because it was frozen shut. And yeah, I don't want to break it, but it's frozen solid. So we're going to have to spend some time trying to de-ice this thing. I'm so used to cold weather and frozen temperatures that might be a new education for me. I did get these though, so a friend of mine loaned these like strap-on cleats type thing. So if we do step on any ice or anything, you can even wear your tennis shoes with these. It'll keep you safe. So anyway, we're going to try to start de-icing the weather tracker and head out and show you some of the conditions on the roadways in just a little bit. Back to you.
Good unexpected tips here from Matt. I've never seen the strap-on cleats like that. That's great. 25 degrees, he says, up in Huntsville.
That's chilly, Matt. Stay warm, and we'll check in with you again in just a little while.
As of this morning, several school districts have already made the decision to close tomorrow, including the largest. There are hundreds of thousands of students that will not be going to class tomorrow. The list will scroll, by the way, at the bottom of your screen.
I think safe to say most have canceled at this point. We're also following several churches switching to online services today to make sure that everybody stays safe at home. So take a look at your screen right now. This is just a few of the churches in our area that have announced their online sermons for today.
All right, right now we're tracking the possibility of power outages across the area. So we do know CenterPoint shows about 5,000 power outages. Just a couple hours ago, that was over 8,000, so it is better. We do know that when ice collects on any power lines, that can play a big role in any power outages. So this morning, we hope we know that you're helping us track the ice around the metro area. Look at this sleet up in Conroe and New Caney, and then flurries up in Cleveland. If you see anything around you and you want to share, it's real easy. Feel free to send it our way.
And take a look at this. This is video out of Midland, Texas. It was just coming down in these huge, beautiful flakes. Temperatures there were staying quite chilly, remaining in the teens. So it's going to be quite a while before that snow decides to melt off in Midland. This is another reminder that travel all around the state is not a good idea for right now. Time now is 8:16.
All right, let's take a live look over snowy White House. Look at that, over in D.C. Millions of people impacted by this winter storm. Our team coverage continues right after the break.